A malaria agency urges federal government to strengthen primary health care to combat malaria. SERAP gives President BOLA AHMEDTINUBU 7 days to account for 400 billion naira for subsidy savings. Nahakon demands seminar Arafat feeding from Saudi Arabia government. On business news, Nigeria's major crude oil terminals experienced significant production surge in April and May 2023. On international scene, Kenyan President Ruto lifts 6-year login ban. On sport update, Nigeria's First Lady tasked Super Falcons to dazzle up at 2023 World Cup. Hello and welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I'm Mukusa Mohammed. Abuja, the Civil Society in Malaria Control, Immunization and Nutrition in Nigeria, AHMED, has asked the federal government to allocate more resources towards strengthening of primary healthcare centers so as to help the fight against malaria. Speaking at a quarterly media briefing in Abuja, the National Coordinator, AHMED Ayo Ipimoye, said the crucial role of primary healthcare centers in combating life-threatening disease such as malaria cannot be overemphasized. According to Mr. Ipimoye, statistics from 2021 reveal that Nigeria had the highest number of global malaria cases, accounting for 26.6% of cases worldwide, adding that the country experienced the highest number of malaria-related deaths, constituting 31% of global malaria deaths. To address the alarming situation, the AHMED coordinator said there was need for urgent collective efforts from the public to tackle the malaria scourge. He stressed the importance of insecticide-treated nets as physical barriers against mosquitoes, reducing the risk of infection for vulnerable groups such as pregnant women and young children. A world-class fertility center, Bridge Clinic, has highlighted the need for government incentives for insurance companies to provide in vitro fertility treatment for couples in the country. The senior fertility doctor and gynecologist of Bridge Clinic, Dr. Ayo Olayinka, made the call at its Welcome Forum held in Lagos. The forum was on the theme, Unable to Conceive the Second Time, and the Inability to Achieve Conception as Secondary Infertility. Speaking to newsmen, Dr. Olayinka decried the high cost of IVF in the country, saying that because insurance usually does not offer coverage for assisted reproductive techniques, most people have to pay out of their pocket. He said they are hoping that the government can provide some form of incentives that will allow insurance companies to provide either a limited or complete coverage for IVF treatment, even if it's for one cycle. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged President Bola Tinubu to urgently publish details of spending of about 400 billion naira so far saved as a result of the removal of petrol subsidy. The group also demanded for the mechanisms that had been put in place to ensure that such savings were not embezzled, misappropriated or diverted into private pockets. Quoting media reports, SERAP said the federal government had saved 400 billion naira within the 4 weeks following the implementation of the policy and the removal of payment of subsidy on petrol. The organization stated that in a letter dated July 1, 2023, and signed by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare. The organization stated this in a letter dated July 1, 2023, and signed by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare. Part of the letter read, President Tinubu's government has a legal responsibility to ensure that the savings from the removal of subsidy on petrol are spent solely for the benefit of the 137 million poor Nigerians who are bearing the brunt of the removal. SERAP also urged the President to promptly instruct the Independent Corrupt Practices and other related offences commission and Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to monitor the spending of all savings from subsidy removal. The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Taoreed Laboja, has enjoined troops of the Nigerian Army to complement their military efforts with prayers for the success of the Army in its operational engagements and the corporate existence of Nigeria as one indivisible entity amid contemporary security challenges bedeviling the nation. The Army Chief made the clarion call on Saturday at the interdenominational church service marking the Nigerian Army Day celebration 2023 held at the Mogadishu Military Cantonment, Abuja. The Army had last week commenced the commemoration of its 160th year of establishment since 1867, when 18 men known as the Glover Houses of the Royal Navy were organized into a formidable force. General Lagbaja stated that the Army remained the pride of the nation and a force to reckon with in Africa and the world. The Army Chief said that the occasion also provided the opportunity for prayers and supplications to be made to God Almighty on behalf of the Nigerian Army, the armed forces of Nigeria and the nation in general. The management of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has demanded the Saudi Arabia government to return feeding to the commission and the provision of well-spacious tent accommodation for the Nigerian pilgrims in Mina and Arafat during Hajj exercise. The commission said the demand became imperative in view of the poor handling of feeding and tent accommodation at Mina and Arafat during the just concluded Hajj operations. Speaking in Makkah in Saudi Arabia yesterday, with the leadership of Company Mutawifs for Pilgrims from African non-Arab countries, the chairman of NAHCON, Alhaji Zikrullah Kunle Hassan, said the return of feeding pilgrims to the Commission and the Muslim Welfare Boards would reduce the sufferings being experienced by the pilgrims at the Mina and Arafat during Hajj exercises. He added that feeding should be returned to them, that they will manage it themselves so they can screen them and make sure the foods are of the Nigerian taste, and then that they can regulate and supervise as they used to previously in Makkah and Medina, saying it may not be perfect, but it is better for them. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board says it is going to prosecute Ejikeme Mmesoma, a 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination candidate from Anambra State, for manipulating her results in this year's exams. The board, in a statement on Sunday, signed by its spokesperson Fabian Benjamin, said Miss Ejikeme Joy Mmesoma had actually scored 249 and not 362, she claimed, adding that she had manipulated her UTME results to deceive the public, to fraudulently obtain scholarship and other recognitions. JAMB also said the original result of Mmesoma would be withdrawn, stating that many candidates are parading fake results, having used some phony software packages. Already, the candidate was said to have been awarded a 3 million naira scholarship by the founder of Inosan Motors, Innocent Chukuma. JAMB commended Mr. Chukuma and encouraged other Nigerians who desire to invest in the future of genuine youngsters never to be discouraged, but to always ensure that they get the authentic result from the boards, as done by the Anambra State Ministry of Education. Otherwise, they will be celebrating criminality, as this is just another new fraudulent method in town. Unknown to Ms. Mmesoma, the board had changed the design of the 2023 UTME results sheet. The Taraba State Governor, Agbu Kefas, has imposed a 24-hour curfew on Karim Town, the headquarters of Karim Lamido local government area, and its environs effective July 2, 2023. The curfew was necessitated by renewed communal conflict in some parts of the local government area after the killing of over 30 lives. In a statement, the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Yusuf Sanda, said security agencies have been mandated to ensure strict compliance, and any person or group of persons found violating the order should be dealt with in accordance with the law. The statement concluded all ward heads, village heads, traditional rulers, and stakeholders in Karim Lamido local government area advised to take note of the development. Now in business news. According to data from the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Nigeria's 7 major crude oil terminals, which includes Bonny, Braz, Kwa Ibor, Focados, Escravos, Odudu Amenam Blend, and Tulja Okwebome, witnessed a significant increase in production during the period from April to May 2023. Based on the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission records, the active terminals demonstrated increased production of crude oil, blended condensates, and unblended condensates during the specified period. The Bonny crude oil terminal increased its crude oil and condensate production to 3,722,346 in May 2023 from 3,002,826 recorded in April 2023 at the terminal, which is located on Bonny Island and operated by Shell Petroleum Development Company Nigeria Limited. The Brass Crude Oil Terminal increased its crude oil and condensate productions to 1,144,884 in May 2023 from 901,594 recorded in April 2023 at the terminal, which is located in Bayelsa State and operated by the Nigerian Agip Oil Company, among others. The National Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority also granted a license to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to establish 2,179,747 barrels of crude oil terminal offshore Akwa Ibom State within the waters of the exclusive economic zone. Now in international news.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Kenyan President William Ruto announced on Sunday the lifting of a near 6-year ban on logging despite the concerns of environmental campaigners. President Ruto said the move was long overdue and was aimed at creating jobs and opening up sectors of the economy that rely on forest products. The president at a church service in Molo, a town about 200 kilometers, 120 miles northwest of the capital Nairobi, said they can't have mature trees rotting in forests while locals suffer due to lack of timber, stressing that it is foolishness. President Ruto, who has positioned himself at the forefront of African efforts to combat climate change, said the government would push ahead with plans to plant 15 billion trees over 10 years. The end of the ban is likely to delight sawmillers and timber merchants who protested that it had caused major job losses. The moratorium was imposed by the previous government in February 2018 in public and community forests with the aim of stamping out rampant illegal logging and increasing the nation's forest cover to 10%. Now on sport updates. With 17 days to the kick-off of the 9th FIFA Women's World Cup finals in Australia and New Zealand, wife of the president, Senator AHMEDTINUBU, has charged Nigeria's Super Falcons to dominate at the Mundial Down Under. Speaking at the send-forth for the 9-time African champions on Saturday evening in Abuja, Mrs. Tinubu described the Super Falcons as the shining star and pride of Africa. In a speech read on her behalf by the APC national women leader, Dr. Betu Edu said she is proud to note that the Super Falcons have remained in that mix of the very best globally in the world of football. She said that the Falcons have featured in every single edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup finals since the competition started in 1991, and Nigeria is also one of only 7 countries worldwide to have done so. The Nigerian First Lady concluded that while the Falcons made it to the quarterfinals at the 1999 finals in the United States of America and reached the second round at the last championship in France, our expectations as a nation and as a people is for much better performance at what is certainly the biggest and best championship yet in Australia and New Zealand starting from 20th July 2023. And that's all we have in news updates for today, but before we go, a recap of the major headlines. A malaria agency urges federal government to strengthen primary health care to combat malaria. SERAP gives President BOLA AHMEDTINUBU 7 days to account for 400 billion naira for subsidy savings. Nahakon demands seminar Arafat feeding from Saudi Arabia government. On business news, Nigeria's major crude oil terminals experienced significant production sales in April and May 2023. On international scene, Kenyan President Ruto lifts 6-year logging ban. On sport update, Nigeria's First Lady tasks Super Falcons to dazzle up at 2023 World Cup. Thanks for watching. That's the news. I'm Mohammed. You have a blessed day.